and welcome into my first ever Elite Dangerous stream. We will be doing something a little different than if you've caught any of Delta's stream, where mostly he's been doing core mining. Right now, we are doing exploration as well as some exobiology. And that's there we go. Now that I've muted myself on YouTube, I'm not getting weird feedback. But we are currently out in the black, and I'm heading over to my Mandalay due to not being able to see the piece that I'm also looking for. But hey, Zessu, welcome in. Glad that you could make it. Let's slow down because the oh wow, you landed in a really bad place. These SRVs handle like a drunk blind Mako from Mass Effect, and there's yeah, no, I am not trying to do that. Let's continue doing some driving and find hopefully a better place for my ship to land, because there is no way I'm going to get that lined up correctly. So, what I am doing right now is exobiology, a small part of the Elite Dangerous, where I am currently driving around trying to find a certain plant. The one that I just passed, the green one, I've already scanned, which will, when I find this, same with these rocks. So if we get out of my ship or truck, and to do exobiology, you have to have a certain type of suit called the Artemis suit, which allows you to get this genetic sampler. And if you pulse something, it'll this one will come sort of like a purplish blue color, which means both that it doesn't match the sample that I have already started scanning, and that I've already scanned it. I or this one might be a new piece. Yeah, and like that is exactly what I mean by it not handling very well. And now I've got to switch my controls for my SRV full range so that I can get off of, and let's try to keep full range on instead of just continuously forward. Let's, oh, yeah, this is not good. And you just like to spin around, don't you? Get up. I had called my ship mainly so that I could reposition somewhere on this planet so that I could find a better spot to find one of the pieces that I am looking for. But the first spot that I had was, or it landed, was not reasonable. I'm just going to check a couple of these patches. They all look to be what I have already scanned. Get over here and recall my ship. Yeah, so these I've definitely done, and let's zero out the RV. There's some bark. Right. So yeah, so these ones are fully blue. So I've already scanned these and gotten the full sample. Or you've that's a case of you're still scanning that, but the sample that you're looking at is too close to your other sample, which you need to be about 500 to 600 meters away from the next last sample to get a new scan, which makes it a little difficult at times finding stuff simply because you either have to low fly in your ship or drive around in your SRV, which doesn't handle very well at times and will just decide to hit a pebble and do a full 360 on you. And there is a way of using the free camera to drive around and see more, but I tested it out a little before stream, and it is it made me sick to the stomach. So I'm not using that, and instead just driving around normally. This is now in a better position. I'm gonna check out this patch of grass, but I'm not seeing anything. So yeah, I'm going to check, go back to my ship, and one of the yeah, 50%. So I will have to at some point refill my SRV. This is what for the full full throttle for the SRV. It's the handling is such that it's not the best at times. But as I was saying, with the scanning exobiology, you have to get all three of the same sample before you can continue on with something different. So you can't have multiple at the same time and just go that way. Oh no. Hopefully, finding some of these will be a lot easier than the other planet in this system that I stopped by, because that one I tried landing and going around but wasn't able to find a good section. So let's system map organic. This is the one, the Concha renibus is the one I am looking for. So let's back into space and find a better area for it, which this is the first part of really doing exobiology is finding a system, preferably one that doesn't have any first footfall markers by anyone, because you get a bigger payout for being the first footfall. So that is the first one. Then finding a system, you want to use the FSS scanner to look at the various different systems, and that'll let you, or not system, but the let you tell the different planets and if they have any biological or geographical signals. And you'll then oh, getting this switching up I have an issue with. But once you find planets that have a biological signal, you then go and have to do a discovery scan, which the discovery signals you have to buy, and I believe the FSS or FSS is part of that signal package. Then you scan the full planet, and that'll then show up. The planet will show up once I get far enough away. I can spin around and show the planet. This should be, yeah, the planet will look something like this, and you can go into the discovery, and of course I'm not far enough away. And then
Frameshift drive charging.
Super cruise out a little bit
4, 3, 2,
and go
1.
from there.
Engage.
I've only been doing exobiology for like very hard the last couple days, and I've done a little look at it from like on YouTube, but I haven't done watch very many videos. So this will be the once you've done a full signal, you'll be able to look at the different things that are here, and I want the concha. So this is now the map that'll show where that is, and exiting out, you'll want to land in the sort of one of the teal areas. So I'm going to go over here because this looks a little flatter. And from the little videos that I've watched, bacterium can be difficult to find. I've lucked out mainly having been scanning sort of metallic worlds instead of icy worlds, so that the bacterium shows up a little easier because the bacterium looks to be just a bunch of gray lines in a circle. So on an icy world, they're supposedly much harder to find, but in a lot of, even as is, I'm going along with the unless I see a bacterium puddle as it were, I'm not searching for them. I'll skip them, and usually when you find a planet where there'll be like biological one, it'll be bacterium. So the work that I've done so far has been and just been as I'm just going to skip that planet because I don't want too much of the headache. And if the finding stuff gets too hard, like the first planet in this system that I was at, I just couldn't find one of these sections, or I think it was two. I was able to get one of the three, but the other two I just couldn't find and had landed in multiple teal spots. So I decided I wasn't going to waste my time on it. Gotta get much closer to the ground. Put pits to engine. Slow down so I don't slam into anything. And now we want to start looking for. So this looks to be a reasonable area. Let's auto land do the work.
Landing gear deployed.
There looks to be two noticeable areas. This one patch does look to be a section I've already scanned, but it's fine. And get out the SRV.
Low gravity warning.
Yep. This is all things I've already scanned. That one patch was stuff I'd already scanned, but part of it is just driving around looking for other sections. So you can do it in your ship, but I have, and I'll do some of that at times, but when you are looking for things, it's sometimes faster to go about it in an SRV. Saw some things over here, but they're looking to be just rocks that didn't fully render until I got closer. So I'm going to head over this way and the area I had found sort of three sections of one of the piece, but I was scanning something else, so I wasn't able to tag it. And I probably only found two of the three, which is really annoying. No, don't want it that way. But with it, you can also use the SRV to find various minerals that are on the ground. So I'm also going to be stopping by and doing that. And yeah, no, I need to stay on full for the SRV. I only switch out when I get stuck because otherwise, just the
Cargo scoop deployed. Ship
dismiss
dismissed.
dismiss my ship just so that I have one less thing on my scanner. And plus, if you get far enough away from it, it will depart on you anyways, which is a fair thing. You just recall it, and I've got close to 30 or so refuels of my SRV. On reflip. There we go. I probably destroyed a bunch of those materials that came off of that, but that's what happens when you lit the ship, which it can definitely be nauseating for some people, especially the spinning out, which going forward only on my throttle, I found I don't spin out as much as the full range, which is a little weird, but yes, good. Okay, so this blue plant thing is
Drive
the
assist off. Cargo scoop retracted.
third sample I will need. So, and it's yeah, it's going to be green, and then you just hold down the trigger. You get this little mini game where it continues to scan, and sample complete. Had it been the first or the second, it would have been like 1 of 3, 2 of 3, and we can now re-enter the SRV and start looking for the next key. So I'm going to check this little area, but I think these are all, yeah, they look to be these all of the same stuff. And one of the big things, at least that I personally found when it comes to doing the exobiology, is definitely stay away from sort of the highways or the ex- explored areas. Definitely try to go 500, 1,000 light years away from the bubble and out of the areas that are sort of popular to travel. So, not the highway to Colonia, that sort of thing. Some of the close by nebulas. Let's stop. Let's control the spin out and go from there. And when you land in a system, and after you've done the discovery scan, if you get if there's one body, that's going to be the sun. It's best just to move on. But going from there, if you get 8, 9, 20 signals, then you try to look at the map and you only see the sun. That's when you can use the FSS scanner to
Drive assist off.
do a full scan of the system, and I believe that'll credit you as being the first to discover it, but I'm not sure when that triggers. So yes, this blue, that means I've already scanned this, so I won't be able to do much. And if we go up to it, yeah, sample unavailable, already analyzed. So That means 3 of the 7 samples I can get out of here. But let's drive a little further, getting a flat spot to recall my ship. And unfortunately, the sort of area that I just decided to go and have gone in doesn't seem to have very many guardian signals, at least not on Inara, which means I won't be able to be doing much of the guardian stuff, but probably after this trip and I get my exploration ship a little bit engineered, because this is a pre-built that you can buy with arcs. I got it during the sale, so it is suited for deep space exploration, but it isn't engineered for it, which just means I have somewhat smaller jump range and that sort of thing. But the heat distribution while fuel scooping on a Mandalay is amazing. It is definitely a good exploration ship. You can sit right beside the sun, getting the max fuel scooping possible, and not raise above maybe 50% heat. And even with fuel scooping, or not fuel scooping, but Super Cruise Overdrive with the Mandalay, you'll be able, definitely the Mandalay. The other ones not so much, but you can go Super Cruise assist and go over 200,000 light years with not out raising your temperature above 80%, which or burn too much fuel either, which is another nice thing. And I did that on one planet, which had a. I think this was a planet that I did it because there were 3 planets, no first footfalls, and a total of 14 samples to be discovered. So we are gonna head back into.
Landing gear retracted. Cargo scoop.
This is one of the big things that you really, the time waster I found with it. But hey, Delta, glad to see you here and that you guys are all back home and doing good. It's
4, 3,
still the first week or so, so there's that. But it's glad the operation and everything and birth went well. It's back far enough. I need system. Let's check the system map. This is a good way to see which ones you've already got. So yes, the Mongolia, bacterium. Let's go. This it should give quite a massive section. So and Hide some.
Landing gear deployed.
There we go. This. Alright, looks like yeah, this is a good section. I see definitely two sections, including a bacterium spot that I can collect, and depending on what these other masses are, I might be three. Yes, there are definitely looks to be three out of this, which is good because I so there are 7 sections, and I've found. Let's just deploy the SRV because there will be some driving around.
Low gravity warning.
And is probably I'm gonna have to go through some of these settings so that I don't have to be continually switching to full range and just have a backup button when needed so I don't land weirdly like that. But I'll do that all stream. Of course, uh, yeah, I'm sure you're quite busy, but over here. So this right here,
Drive assist off.
these sort of circular puddles that you see right here, this is a bacterium sample. So on a icy world, they might be they might be colored different, but I don't know because I haven't done any real exploration on icy worlds. But that is would be quite difficult to find just on your own. And let's drive around a little bit. Hope this here is far enough away, but I doubt it.
Drive assist off.
Yep, blue. So that because I've only gotten one of the samples for the bacterium, that blue means I am still too close to the other one, and it'll say like, oh, not enough genetic diversity or something similar. So you just need to continue traveling, and but here should be able to see another one pretty soon. I want to keep my ship here simply because with all this being such a populated patch of different items, I don't want to be driving around in somewhat circles trying to find stuff. But with what I grab first, let's here might have something. I might end up just having my ship decide to fly off on me. A gray patch over here. Yes.
Drive assist off.
And go. Second partial sample did. Let's continue on the drive. No, 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 no. He's 1.7 my ship. I need to drive a little bit over this crest here. Actually, doesn't he deal with that text when I don't need. All right, and back. Don't see the outlines somewhat this area, fortunately. So we continue driving. Part of the reason why I chose the bacterium when I saw it first was because they are a little harder to see at times. So you are going to do a little more driving because that green section or the plants that are here you can see from further away. So it's something that can be grabbed much easier, and frankly, I want to deal with the harder one first because there is this time where you're just spinning out and driving in not the direction you want to go. And let's check area. Not what I was hoping for. Over here, maybe. Now that just looks like a rock outcropping portion. That's just rock outcropping. Okay, let's be this way. Might sort of head in the north of my ship direction somewhat for a bit because I sort of went east and south and west on everything. So this might help me out. And let's random rocks. But yeah, this is the one major time sink I have found with exobiology is the finding the three samples because you'll luck out and get two of them and then be driving around forever and then transfer to a different area in hopes of finding one, or you just don't even find one like I did on the other planet. I had found a was only finding one of the three even when I flew around and landed in other supposed hot-esque spots, which after the third time I'm just like, I'm not going to fight trying to find the other ones. So this world having seven is going to be nice. Spinning around like it's spinning around if you go off of an item. Doesn't look like there is a set to whatever, unfortunately, like you do have on the your ship, like set to 25% throttle reverse. Makes this bouncing issue. Go. Honestly, if I'm gonna check over this ridge up here, but if I don't see anything uh, bacterium wise over this ridge, and I'm just going to forget about collecting that sample. There definitely seems to be less people in the faction that I pledged to the Yuri Grom now than there was at least in the um Jeremy Archer, because last week I was roughly in the same area for on the leaderboard as I had been with Jeremy Archer, both like merit wise and whatnot. But I ended up being ranking under top 300, like 298, I want to say, where I was like 500 and change for Jeremy Archer, which is interesting because Yuri has a lot more planets than Jeremy, but so that might change as time goes by. And part of the reason why I've been doing some of these exploration, definitely why I did this, was I saw online that you can get, like, it may not be a very good way to get on the leaderboard for merit wise, but you can definitely get a lot of ranks by going out and spending some time exploring and then selling that data. So I decided, since I wanted the modules mainly, I will head out and was finding a bunch of worlds with no footfalls, so I decided to check out exobiology. For the most part, I've been enjoying it. Aspectarium is not wanting to show up. I've already flown far enough away from my ship that it decided to take off on me. So, yeah, I am
Drive assist off.
disembarking and right. Yeah, so I'm just discarding the bacterium sample, knowing my luck that'll mean I'll find that third one momentarily. And but that is basically what happens when you scan something that you're not finished scanning. It'll give you that sort of warning, and we'll have to hold down the scan button for a little longer so that as basically confirmation of this is what you want to do. Yeah, literally, literally 50 meters further up. But that is. Look, stop spinning around.
Drive
Far
assist
enough
off.
away that I can. Yes. Turn controls. Only first. Yeah, that I have figured out a system that works.
Drive assist off.
Wasn't sure which joystick 4 was, and wasn't really interested in testing all the various buttons. So I have some things on the keyboard, which I have as that, and because of this section, once again, I'm just going to run over and restart the 3. A 3. Which is there. But I check out this. Continue heading out this direction slightly. Check out these two areas. Hope I get lucky with some bacterium.
Drive assist off.
Number 2. Came over this ridge. I'm gonna head back this direction. Hope to find one of the puddles that I had already scanned. Yeah, that. Oh, right there. That. Also,
Drive assist off.
sample. Now we're going to grab this green moss-like stuff. continue on. I'm gonna drive past this first section because that feels a little close. But once here,
Drive assist off.
pop out and filter glass. Just how it was shadowed made it look a little different than something else. As such, wanted to stop by and
Drive assist off.
ride by. Yeah. You would think that humanity 1300 years in the future would have developed some sort of wheels that wouldn't spin out on the slightest hesitation on any sort of ground, dirt, ice, whatever. But no, they still have vehicles with no handling whatsoever.
Drive assist off.
In yeah, no, those are beefy treaded wheels, but no, I do anything. That is all the ones that I have
Ship recalled.
on my ship, so I can. The Mandalay is a really nice ship. Supposedly there is what I've seen a little bit online that you can make it into a combat ship, but it's not honestly an exploration ship, and it's doing really well at that right now.
Drive assist
Oh,
off.
no, I don't want disembark to go board the Let's check what of the still need.
Landing gear retracted. Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Weird. Came from an should have been a
Orbital flight engaged.
someday. That probably doesn't. Let's back down. Quick scan. If I don't see anything, I'm moving on to the next system. Do some actual exploration instead of just exobiology. You definitely want to be watching the uh, bar just on the right hand screen, seeing how close you are to the ground, because I almost blew up earlier when I was doing it on my own, because I slammed into the ground a couple times and ended up with a close to 30% hull, or no, like 6% hull. I had no real hull left and had to get out into space and use a couple of the repair limpets that I had. And that maybe both look like pieces I've already picked up. Yeah, those are stuff that I already scanned. Not interested in. Well, yeah, I could use the extra whatever cash and I'm leaving it on the table. I'm
Frameshift drive charging.
going to continue on my
4,
exploration.
3, 2, 1. Engage.
Pull off the map, head back to the. Right, yes, that's why I chose to go this direction.
Frameshift drive charging.
One, because I had to use most of my, at least over half of my limpets to do repairing on my ship. I looked on Inara, and there's
4,
a supposedly
3,
a
2,
fleet carrier
1. Engage.
down this direction in this system. So I'm taking a jaunt off of my exploration to head there. But the information that Inara had is 2 months old, so I doubt it's still there.
Fuel scooping.
Yeah, this is the sort of like fuel scooping I
Fuel
was talking
scooping
about.
complete.
Just sitting right beside the sun, pretty much only getting 54%.
Frameshift
It
drive
only starting
charging.
to build when you start doing the hyperdrive. And even then, even right beside the planet, I would hit maybe 80%.
4,
So
3,
I definitely
2,
seen
1.
this becoming
Engage.
the go-to exploration ship for people. It being a smaller ship, allowing you to land easier on places, on planets, fleet carriers, whatever, or stations, and just the better heat management.
Fuel
I've
scooping.
got two full heat sinks, but I've never had to use it.
Frameshift drive charging.
And some of these planets, like this one with 18 or 19 bodies, I could have checked out to see what they got, but I want to
4,
stop by this
3,
system to
2,
see if there's still that
1.
fleet carrier,
Engage.
because the area that I've headed out into for exploration, everything doesn't seem to have very many like asteroid bases, fleet carriers, whatnot. This doesn't seem to be an section popularly checked out. So
Fuel scooping.
30. Let's check it. So yeah, this is like definitely in the bubble is
Disengage.
sort of the system map that you'll get, and none of these systems have the correct symbols for exobiology. So you want one that has both this half crescent and full circle around the system that'll have the correct atmosphere and everything for
Frameshift drive
biological
charging.
samples to be found. And it's already, because you can see stuff on the map, it's already been discovered by somebody. So you just, just because it's been
4,
discovered by a
3,
person
2,
doesn't mean
1.
if there had
Engage.
been a correct world, there's been footfall on it. Some of these planets have probably been discovered before Odyssey, so there will have been the discovery, but not the first footfall. Or there are people just jumping through, scanning, and continuing on. So yeah, so it showed us 8 planetary bodies, but when we go into the system map, we're only getting 2. So this is when you would want to use the FSS and play the little mini game of lining things up, zooming in. Then you'll get the basic information about each planet, and sometimes you'll have to do a like zoom in again. Right. So this will have one biological, which will be almost certainly be bacterium. You have to have things pretty well lined up to get the whole to get the zoom in. Otherwise, it'll tell you that it failed.
System scan complete.
There's the system scan, so we can now exit out and recheck the system map, which will update and show the planet. So this is the one that has the biological information. You'll see that there's one biological. If we like, as you can see, zooming in, it's got that half crescent and then the full circle, which I believe that it has something to do with an atmosphere or something, but I'm not too sure.
Frameshift drive charging.
So I could have flown over to that planet, landed, and tried to find the bacterium. But
4,
as I'm
3,
wanting
2,
to
1. Engage.
upgrade, or not upgrade, but get a bunch of limpets and hopefully get some limpets from this fleet carrier that's supposedly nearby, I'm just jumping and
Fuel scooping.
heading along. And yeah, I with the ship that you like the stellar version of this ship, you get a
Fuel scooping
class
complete.
6 fuel scoop, so it makes scooping really easily, which
Frameshift drive
is good.
charging.
It makes I'm not spending a lot of time in systems trying to do that. Yeah, there. 78% was the highest I hit
4,
while
3,
charging up
2,
my hyperdrive
1.
that close to a
Engage.
plant. Normally, on a lot of other ships, you're looking at over 80 to 100% non engineered. You need to like really worry about heat distribution. And once I get this engineered and probably get some Guardian modules to boost the flight or light ear jump range of the ship, it'll be even better. But I'm liking it how it is so far.
Fuel scooping.
Up 18.
Fuel scooping complete.
Yeah, looks to be a fully scanned
Frameshift
system
drive
already,
charging.
which is fine.
2, 1, engage.
Definitely taking. There we go. I was about to say that that was a quite longer jump than I was
Fuel scooping.
expecting, but let's.
Frameshift drive charging.
I also hope that the fleet carrier is still here in this system, and B, they allow random people to land on it,
4,
which
3,
I
2,
tried landing
1,
on one
engage.
fleet carrier a while back, and they were denying the landing request because they had set it to like friends or no one, which just meant I had to go to an actual station instead. I wasn't doing any exploration, I was just in the bubble, so wasn't the hardest thing to do. It, yep, it's chugging away. Might get aired out with how long this is taking. Oh, probably almost was, but yeah. So like, you definitely it's been mapped so, by this person, but they didn't do any foot falls. So, and part of the reason why there's only three geological ones, which
Frameshift
geological
drive charging.
ones just give from what I've seen online is they give materials like you scan them and you can blow them up with your SRV and then pick up the materials. But the materials, I
4,
don't.
3,
It doesn't seem to be
1,
any sort of like
engage.
engineering materials. They're just materials that you can sell as commodities, which is all right, but not. I don't seem to be worth the time. I am. I'm definitely over 1,000 light years. Once I get flying to this system, I'll see. I'm definitely more than 1,000. I'm almost, or I was on my way into the another sort of quadrant, as it were, in on the map. Chug chug. Yep, we got aired out, which That is fine. We can reload in. Hopefully that'll fix most of the issues. There we go. I am. Yeah, I'm quite a ways from the bubble. Just going off of that. Over 3,000 light years from the bubble, from just a random planet I chose. Plus the. Going. Let's head out to sort of the area I was checking out. Like 5,000 from the bubble.
Frameshift drive charging.
And yeah, I so far I've found
Four,
going sort of
three,
east of the on the
one.
galactic
Engage.
map from the bubble. I'm finding much more unexplored areas than when I'd gone sort of north up, sort of near where the I had some of the bookmarks, and then just down south. I was still 1,000, 1,500 light years from the
Fuel
bubble,
saving.
constantly getting fully explored systems, first landfall already found, worlds that didn't have any biological things. But here, I don't know if I just off the beaten path, as it were, or what, but definitely getting more of these ones where you have to do the full scan,
Fuel
or the scan
saving
has already been
complete.
done, but the uh, no, nothing more than just mapping a system has happened.
System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging.
There,
4,
finally went above
3,
80%, but only got to
1.
83.
Engage.
So there was light alarms, but nothing too massive.
scooping. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one. Engage.
Star system.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Good for quite a while of jumping.
Four, three, two, one. Engage.
Breathe out. Fully mapped up. Definitely time. So far, only really one world has multiple biological samples, but being such a massive terry area, it's worth checking them all. With seem to be icy worlds as well, which I'm probably gonna definitely that little section with multiple worlds all having that whole system having uh our little ring area, having each world having two. And check out just to see how the uh, bacterium actually sort of shows up. To
System scan complete.
This definitely check out, and it's only 2,000 light seconds. Even this, the two at the planets that are 71,000 aren't that much of a wouldn't be much of a trip. Been back around sun.
Fuel scooping.
Do a full fuel scoop of
Fuel scooping complete.
super crew overcharge. Even with the super crew's overcharge on, you don't fly that badly in it. Some of the ones you're jerking around and it's super hard to do any, like, just keep it stable. But like, you even get some of that with the Python Mark II. And I haven't tried and think a little bit with the Cobra Mark V. Don't remember how much I of the supercharging I did in the Cobra, but and I haven't really driven too much of the Type 8. I did a little bit a while back, and it honestly felt like I was driving a 5-ton truck more than anything. But that's probably standard for a lot of the heavy transport ships in this game. And that is how but super steady on everything, which is really nice. And it's now let's check out this. I'm also going to stop by and scan the rings here. Might as well do that while I'm in this system. I haven't been scanning all the rings of the ringed planets as I go past them, which means I might have been missing out on good mining spots. But with everything that I've been doing,
Surface scan complete.
new astronomy. That is. Huh. A low diamond hotspot, a trinium hotspot, and a void opal hotspot here. Void in the Trin. Pretty almost overlapping. Interesting. Just a minute. Yep, noob looping. But when it's definitely expected to have to noob loop at least once or twice on this planet. Planet efficiency target of 2 probes.
Surface scanned by 50%.
You get the efficiency bonus. Let's fly around this planet a little bit to get a better angle. Oh, gonna get the efficiency bonus on. Oh well. I'm still gonna get the first footfall, which is the one that gives the biggest.
Surface scan complete.
Right, so we are going to either means it's going to be there. It's going to be quite easy to find stuff, or quite difficult with how small the little
Orbital flight engaged.
teal areas are. Definitely don't want to be forced out of super cruise quite yet, but we're gonna land, and that's going to be everything for this stream. I've been going on for close to 2 hours, which is good for getting back into it. But I should be back streaming almost certainly more exploration and exobiology Wednesday at probably 7 Mountain Standard Time. And then again, Sundays did a bit of an earlier stream just because I had some I wanted to get some chores done in the afternoon and whatnot, but No, we do. Yeah, we're just gonna and so that I have a basically save spot, but not be exploring here. For the simple fact that we are
Landing gear deployed.
we are on the dark side of the planet, which will make exploration even more difficult. So, but until next time, I am Jordan Felix. It was good hanging out with you. Until next time.